3 objects, 1 legend, and a power so great it could conquer even death. The Deathly Hallows are among the most mysterious and dangerous artifacts in the wizarding world. To some, they are just a fairy tale told in the tales of Beedle the Bard, but to others, they are very real and very powerful. Today, we'll uncover the complete history of the Deathly Hallows, their origin, their myth, the wizards who wielded them, and the truth of how they shaped the fate of Harry Potter and Lord Voldemort. The story begins, as all legends do, with a tale. According to the tales of Beedle the Bard, 3 brothers once came to a river too treacherous to cross. With their mastery of magic, they conjured a bridge. Death himself appeared, feeling cheated of their lives. But rather than strike them down, Death offered each brother a gift. The eldest received the Elder Wand, a wand more powerful than any other. The second received the Resurrection Stone to call back the dead, and the third received the Cloak of Invisibility to hide even from death. The brothers' fates were tragic. The first was killed for his wand. The second took his own life, unable to bear that his love was not truly returned to him. Only the third brother, who used the cloak to live a full life and greet death as an equal, escaped his gift unharmed. Wizards passed this story down as a cautionary fable, a reminder that even the greatest magic comes with a price. But like all legends, there was a kernel of truth hidden beneath the fairy tale. A fable, or was it? For centuries, wizards debated whether the Deathly Hallows were real or just allegory. But clues suggest otherwise. The Elder Wand's bloody history can be traced through duels and ownership. The Cloak of Invisibility, passed down through the Peverell family, was unlike any other cloak, never fading with age. And the Resurrection Stone, set into a ring once belonging to the Gaunt family, bore the very symbol of the Hallows itself. Scholars believe the 3 brothers, Antioch, Cadmus, and Ignatus Peverell, were not just storybook characters, but real wizards who lived in the 13th century. Antioch was known for his skill in dueling, Cadmus for his obsession with death and grief, Ignatus for his humility and wisdom. Each brother's personality perfectly reflected the Hallow he supposedly received, suggesting the tale was less fiction and more biography. Whether they met death or simply created extraordinary magical objects is still debated, but the evidence is clear: the Hallows existed. First, the Elder Wand, also called the Wand of Destiny or the Death Stick. It is the most infamous wand in history, said to bring unbeatable power to its wielder. But in truth, it brought only bloodshed. Ownership passed not by inheritance, but by conquest, by defeating its previous owner. Maiku Grigorovich, the Wandmaker, once possessed it. It was stolen by Gellert Grindelwald, who used it in his bid to dominate the wizarding world. When Albus Dumbledore defeated Grindelwald in 1945, the wand passed to him. Decades later, Draco Malfoy unknowingly became its master by disarming Dumbledore atop the Astronomy Tower. And when Harry Potter later disarmed Draco, he became the wand's final master. The wand's long history proves its curse. Every master is marked for violence. From Antioch's murder in a tavern, to Grindelwald's reign of terror, to Voldemort's downfall, the Elder Wand has always turned ambition into tragedy. The Elder Wand promised ultimate power, but in the end, it bowed to the one wizard who sought not conquest, but protection. The second Hallow, the Resurrection Stone, was born of grief. Cadmus Peverell used it to summon the shade of lost love, but she returned cold and distant, and his despair drove him to suicide. Centuries later, the stone was set into a ring owned by the Gaunts, descendants of Salazar Slytherin. Tom Riddle turned it into a Horcrux, never realizing the true power hidden within. It was Dumbledore who uncovered the truth, but in a moment of weakness, he tried to use the stone to see his lost family. Its curse nearly killed him, leaving his hand blackened and burned. Finally, the stone came to Harry Potter, hidden inside a snitch left to him by Dumbledore. On the eve of his sacrifice, Harry used it to summon his parents, Sirius and Remus, not as ghosts, but as comforting shades who walked with him in the Forbidden Forest. In that moment, the stone revealed its true meaning. It could not conquer death, but it could ease the fear of dying, reminding Harry that he was never truly alone. The Resurrection Stone cannot truly return the dead, but it can remind the living that love endures, even in loss. The third Hallow was the simplest and perhaps the greatest. Cloaks of Invisibility were not uncommon, but they faded, tore, and failed over time. The Cloak of Ignitus Peverell was different. It endured for centuries, perfect in its concealment. Passed down through the Potter family, it became Harry's inheritance, a gift from his father, James. Unlike the Elder Wand or the Stone, the cloak was never corrupted by greed or misuse. It remained a tool for survival, mischief, and ultimately, protection. With it, Harry snuck through corridors, spied on enemies, and hid from Death Eaters. The cloak saved his life countless times, a reminder that sometimes the quietest magic is the most powerful of all. Of all the Hallows, the cloak alone fulfilled its promise to allow its owner to live fully and meet death as an equal. The Hallows were remembered through a symbol, a circle within a triangle crossed by a line. The line for the Elder Wand, the circle for the stone, the triangle for the cloak. Though once obscure, Grindelwald revived the symbol in the 20th century as his mark of revolution. For him, it was not a legend, but destiny, the promise of mastery over death. To Harry, it became a symbol of unity. The Hallows were not meant to be hoarded, but understood. Power, resurrection, and concealment. Together they reflected not just magical might, but the choices of how to use it. The Deathly Hallows shaped Harry's story not alone, but alongside Voldemort's Horcruxes. Voldemort split his soul to avoid death, while Harry inherited the Hallows that symbolized facing it. When Voldemort sought immortality through fear, Harry accepted mortality through courage. The two paths collided in the Forbidden Forest, when Harry embraced death with the cloak and stone, while Voldemort clutched the Elder Wand. The irony was complete. Voldemort believed he had mastered all three Hallows, yet understood none of them. Harry, who never sought them, embodied their true meaning: humility, love, and sacrifice. The outcome was inevitable. One wizard tried to master death. The other accepted it. From myth to reality, from fairy tale to battlefield, the Deathly Hallows remains one of the wizarding world's greatest mysteries. Which Hallow would you choose? The wand, the stone, or the cloak? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to Harry Potter University for more magical deep dives. Mischief managed.